All right, here we go. Lately, I've been thinking about Chicago, where I was born, and the big concrete backyard that I played in, and walking home to Mama's house for lunch, and for getting sent home from school when I was in kindergarten for beating up a boy. He started it, I promise. I remember going to the liquor store for candy and hearing the sirens at night across the street at the Pink Dragon Tavern. I remember putting on big snowsuits and snow boots and not being able to breathe except for the 2 holes in my hood. I remember the storefront Pentecostal church where they let me play the tambourine during song service. I can't remember how many apartments we lived in my 8 short years there. I know I went to 6 different schools by the time I was 8 years old. I've been thinking about our move to Kentucky, our 3-room house, living across the yard from Grandma and her chickens, and watching the bats fly around the 1 light pole on the street, and seeing the snakes coming down from the mountain, coming down by the side of the mountain, going to the pond at the foot of the mountain by our house. But I was safely in Grandma's lap on the front porch swing. Bathing in the big tin tub wasn't so bad as long as I was the first one in, before my sister, my brother, and my mom. While the water was still the cleanest, I loved being wrapped in the big towel and warming myself by the coal stove, then getting in bed with all the warm covers. I can still smell the food from the grade school at Tots Elementary cafeteria. Sometimes it was edible. Then the long trip back to Chicago to live there again. I can still feel the fear as we were being sent home from school because of the riots in the street, because Martin Luther King Jr. got shot. Then came the long ride to Alabama to get us away from the big city. Our first house had a cotton field in the front yard and an outhouse in the backyard. It was fun playing outside so much and having a warm Christmas. Picking cotton wasn't too much fun in the summer, though. It was hot and sticky, and I was afraid of the wasps. But I did get to stay in the same school, though, for a couple of years. I've been thinking about the little Baptist church where I went up to the altar to pray. I loved Vacation Bible School and the crafts and the cookies and the red Kool-Aid. I went to lots of churches growing up, and I loved them all. The flannel graph board, singing Onward Christian Soldiers, and marching into Sunday night children's church at the Presbyterian Church. The Baptist church bus that picked me up for Sunday school and gave us candy to eat on the way was fun. The Church of God that gave me lots of friends and youth camp and winter retreat. Lately, I've been thinking about how God has brought me through it all, been with me in it all, and has a purpose for it all. Lately, I haven't been thinking about all the pain. I've been thinking more about God's love and faithfulness. Psalm 71, 5 and 6, for you have been my hope, O God. You are my confidence from my youth. By you I have been sustained from my birth. You took me from my mother's womb. Psalm 22, 9 and 10. You are he who brought me from the womb. Upon you I was cast from birth. You have been my God. So that's how I got here.